The first thing you should know about my friend Andrew is that he keeps a low profile. He has lived in his apartment for 2 full years without hanging any art on the wall. He sold off his car and prefers to walk wherever he can. He doesn't want to own anything save for a few cooling racks and kitchen utensils. He also washes his hands a lot, as if to distance himself from all contact with his environment. Andrew always gives the impression that he's just passing through. The next thing you should know about Andrew is that we've been friends for a long time, which is good, because if I met him today, I'd probably run the other direction. I'm learning how to build social trust after my divorce, and every part of the description I just wrote about Andrew looks like a bright red flag and exactly the kind of person I'm trying to avoid.
The first thing you should know about my friend Mrs. Filhom is that she has an extremely close family. She and I have been friends for a while, and in that time I've met out-of-state aunties and 6 or 7 cousins, including 2 that flew in from different countries. I know her mother and father, her sister and brother, and all of the news about each of them. At this point, I've been around enough to have heard some stories of Grandpa Wally and the farm in Moses Lake, Washington. In some areas, I know more about Mrs. Filhom's family than I do about my own. The next thing you should know is that Mrs. Filhom's family puts Mrs. Filhom's kookiness in context. All of them seem to have infinite stores of energy and a need to apply that energy to a project. They share a can-do attitude that causes them to optimize and customize the world around them. The other thing you should know is that they're friendly and welcoming. So friendly and welcoming that they may pull you into an impromptu wrestling match before you have a chance to refuse. Welcome to Half My Age, a weekly show in which a 25-year-old adult and a 50-year-old child help each other make sense of the world.
Who pulled you into an impromptu wrestling match?
Well, mostly Augie and George, but you always warn me every time your other cousins come over that it could happen.
Just happened the other day with my son George, and I was trying to get a nice picture of him and me on the day that we were moving my father's stuff into his Alzheimer's care home, and George decided to take me down. He didn't really. It was kind of gentle, and he didn't fully take me down, but it always turns. It's true.
I feel like moving Grandpa into the memory unit. It would make me want to tackle someone.
Yeah. It was a good thing to do. It was playful. Oh, no, but it's true. I just was saying this to my cousins that this podcast is maybe becoming a tribute to the Lane family. Well, there you have it. That's fine because we did just move Daddy in, and so then maybe this podcast is his legacy. Can you imagine what my father would even, what even is a podcast?
How is everything since then? Is there a sense of relief among the family members now that it's happened?
There is a sense of relief.
Yeah.
It was a difficult few days. There is a sense of relief, and there will be.
He's finally safe. He's got probably around the clock attention.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. I am not fully convinced that they understand at that memory care place how much attention he needs. They seem surprised, and they've been calling my mom saying he's doing this, he's doing that, and it's like, yeah, that's your deal now. I'm not super happy right now, but my mother is more relieved. And yes, in general, I think he's safe. They'll figure it out. It's their job to figure it out.
Right. I imagine there's probably some learning curve when you take over around-the-clock care for someone.
Yeah, of course. I'm just a little bit disappointed. I was disappointed. They called my mom within 24 hours and said, maybe you should come. He's agitated. It's like, yeah, of course he's agitated. Yep. So I'm not 100% great with it, but my mother is way more relieved, and you can already see the relief in her body. And yep, it's what has to happen. I did go and visit my dad yesterday in the place he's on his 3rd day.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't great, but I don't really want to dwell on it. We'll talk about it. We'll see how it goes. You know what? In a month, it's going to be better. It wasn't great. My dad. It appears to me that the Alzheimer's patient is something's going on in there, as we have talked about, right? He certainly understands emotions. My dad is sad, and he seems very scared to me in there. And of course he is. That's a scary thing. You're in a new place. You don't know what's up. I don't understand the machinations of his mind. He definitely wants to get out.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely, I don't want to talk too much more about it. It's just so sad, and I've cried so many damn tears, but it wasn't super comforting to me to see him. It might very well be better in a week.
Yeah, I wonder about that. And it kind of sounds like when you drop young boy or girl off at summer camp for the first time.
Or daycare, what I keep saying, there was a daycare once at a place like at a gym, and I remember being called out of my workout. It was kind of a big deal for me to, okay, I'm going to get back in shape. This place has a nursery. I'm going to take my baby. And being called out of my workout because your baby's crying. Like, right. You for the next hour just need to deal with it if my baby's crying, And the whole point of me paying you is that you need to deal with it. So it felt a lot like that to me when they called my mom within 24 hours. On the other hand, but I think it's different. This is care. This is not education. There were times that I had to call parents when I was a teacher and say, your kid is acting the fool in this way. And there were some parents who had the attitude, yeah, I know. He's on, your time. He's on your hand. That's your deal when he is in your classroom. And that always kind of freaked me out because as a teacher, that was rare for me to call home and say, I need help. This kid is actually out of my control and driving me so crazy or disrupting my class so much that I'm calling the parents. And sometimes when you met with that attitude of like, yeah, I know, we think he's out of control too, thank God. You've got him for those 8 hours.
We're all on the same page here.
Totally. Like that is your responsibility, teacher. That's your job.
And I problem.
And I went, okay, I don't appreciate that. Like parents, I actually feel like we're in this together. Different than dropping your kid off for an hour of daycare when he's a baby and I just need to go walk on the treadmill. Can I please have that time? Your baby's crying. Right. So hold him, he's a baby. Or your father is agitated in the evening. Yeah, he's got Alzheimer's and he's sundowning. You're the professionals. Take care of it. We'll see. I don't know. I think they were just saying, my mom was intending to stay away a lot longer, to let him adjust and to let her adjust. So I am personally confused about why they are calling her and telling her these things. I'm not pleased right now, but I'm not sure that I'm right. So I am going to withhold judgment on all of that and see, like you said, there's got to be a learning curve here. Mm-hmm. For example, there's an electrical panel in his room.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's hopefully it's got a lock on it.
It didn't. So it's stuff like that. I just said, to the nurse, not when my dad was around, without opening it or drawing his attention to it. I just said, that's going to be a problem. I mean, he's going to just... So next day, they had a little zip tie on it. Perfect. He's got blinds in his room, and the functionality for actually raising them and lowering them has been taken away, the little string mechanism. Mm-hmm. And I don't know for sure if there's a manual way to put them up or down. He can adjust the angle of the blinds, and he's been doing that. He wants to look outside. He has kind of a view of the mountains. I just said to the resident director or whatever his job is yesterday, I just said, just to know, those blinds might be down tomorrow, or they might be in a new configuration because he's starting to mess with those blinds. I don't know what you need to do about that. Take them down completely, give him a curtain. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, he's going to mess with those blinds. That's what he does, So they'll learn, I guess. I'm not super convinced that, I don't know. It's, again, really, I don't want to say much more about it, man. I've been through a lot. So let's just say that we'll check back in a bit and hopefully it's all a lot better.
Can we follow up on all of my red flags?
Yeah, okay. Why, do you have art now?
No, not really. No, none. I mean, there's no actual progress on those fronts. I just didn't know that they were all scary things.
I don't know that they are. Well, people who don't put art on their walls when they stay in a place, that does feel to me weird. But I'm a nester. I mean, I literally build nests.
You are a nester.
And it's what I do. I mean, I want to make my space comfortable. And when I don't, at my last job, I was out for a while. For the longest part of my job, I was kind of out in as you know, Grand Central Station area, like a reception area where I didn't really feel like it was my space and people didn't treat it like it was my space. And it's telling to me I never really made that. I never nested there. I never brought too many. I brought some, but photos of the family or like, here's my little plant for my office or whatever. I never moved into that office I didn't feel like it was my space, I guess, but that it's like, yeah, I never felt so. I like nesting. I don't know if that's really a red flag. Listen, when you're out there now as a single person in the world, you just realize like, I don't know, a guy who doesn't want a car. No, it's more, Andrew, it's different. It's more like this. It's more like this. A guy who doesn't have a car or a house. Sure. Yeah. So I was mostly making a joke about
That's
your
funny.
tendencies. But hey, you just went on a big vacation. Did you bring any artwork back? That's usually what I bring back from vacations.
Not a single thing. We
Andrew.
brought back one chocolate bar that I was kind of planning to eat on the plane and didn't get around to it.
Oh, how was it?
It was great. It was wonderful. I don't know why more people don't go to Montreal.
Oh, interesting.
I went there thinking that they spoke two languages, French and English, and they do, but everything is in French and French only, and everyone talks in French first, and then you get that confused look on your face, and then they hit you with a hello. But it was a more foreign experience than I expected to get out of Canada.
Cool.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, right. Like that's cool also because part of the deal was getting Delaney out of the country for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt more foreign than, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was perfect. The city's wonderful. It's got all kinds of, I think it's about half the size of New York, and it's got all of the New Yorkiness about it. We were staying right next to Chinatown. One day we ate in Little Italy, and we just walked the whole time we were there. I think my phone says we did about 30 miles while we were there on foot, which is awesome.
That's so good. I've never been there.
We rode the metro, which is one of my favorite things to do in a city. I like to get on the subway or whatever and ride it somewhere and pop up and see what that new part of the city looks like. It's on the St. Lawrence River or Lake something or other, or it's waterfront. So we spent a lot of time.
Lord knows how many rivers it might be.
Yeah,
it's a knowable thing.
Much more water than there is here in Denver, Colorado, for sure.
Oh, cool. Oh, pretty. Yeah.
But
Neat.
we loved it. Delaney is an excellent travel partner, as you could imagine. And I'm glad we went. I'm kind of frustrated we didn't give ourselves more time.
Always.
Not necessarily to explore Montreal, which, I mean, we could have. We could have explored Montreal for 3 more weeks, but just to do nothing.
I know.
I was constantly struggling with, do we get up and go and walk another 10 miles and see all the things we can see? Or do we sit in the hotel and watch Food Network?
I know.
And we did both.
Well, which is good. I mean, I, of course, always have a bit of trouble with that downtime because it's like, but I'm here in this place where there's stuff to see. Yeah, and so don't waste your time. I could have a day of lying around watching Food Network at home, right? So I know I heard recently that it takes 5 or 6 days to get into vacation brain, like where there's an actual chemical shift in your brain.
I believe it. Mm-hmm. I believe it. And we were close, but not there. I think we were gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, came back on Sunday. So we were like 4 days of being there, plus a day of travel. I shall never not be thankful for the extra 2 bonus days I had in Maui that time a month ago. That's what I was thinking of.
Where I could take them and everything. Because then it just put me into total, like vacation bliss. It almost felt heady. I honestly felt like a change in my brain. Which I still feel like I'm walking around with, Andrew. Total aloha.
You seem to have maintained it pretty well. You were terrified this morning because I didn't tell you that I was in the atelier when you walked in.
I wasn't. I was scared. I was just kind of probably walking with my head down, carrying a lot of things, including 2 waters, one for me, one for you. Didn't want to spill on my computer, which I was also carrying. And I walked in and saw the door was open. And I thought, did I leave the door open all night long? Oh, shoot. But I didn't. You were just sitting here. That did scare me. That's aloha, being alarmed about any foreign bodies in my atelier. That's aloha. That's just practical.
The other piece of follow-up I have, I actually had it last time we recorded, but I just forgot to mention it, my fancy new watch from Flâneur.
Flâneur.com, sponsor and friend of the show, came through with you. And you're right, it's been a while. I've seen the photo. Lay it on me, string bean, send it. Tell them what happened.
So I had almost given up on getting a hold of this watch because there didn't seem to be any new ones coming out. Everything was something that someone else had bought at retail and had marked up 400%, and they had listed it on eBay.
Remind us what the watch is for the new listener.
It's a Q Timex, and it's a reissued watch from the 1970s. And when Timex reissued this watch, they just took the exact plans from the 70s. They didn't update anything about it, as far as I know. It's the same case, same bracelet, same materials, same silly battery cover on the back that they don't use in watches anymore.
Oh, funny. That's interesting.
And they just put it into production, and they sold it in a limited run.
Right.
And so I got on the waiting list on the Timex website early on, and months went by and nothing happened. and Flâneur, they put some feelers out into the world, and they actually tracked one down for me in New York at retail. So they bought it for me, and I picked it up from them, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted.
Nice. It looks like America.
It does.
What year
it's
is that watch from again? Say it again.
I think it's 78, 79. I gotta look it up.
It looks very 1976 to me, when really there was this graphic thing in America going on about the bicentennial so much. And because the bracelet, as you called it, I would have called it a watch band. It's really pretty, and it's sort of shiny and silver, so it looks white, and then it's red, white, and blue. It looks very America.
It's 1979, according to the website.
Interesting. So you got your watch for retail, FlâneurWatches.com.
Okay, so here's the other thing.
Okay.
So probably a week and a half after I picked this up from Flâneur, I got a notification from Timex, and it said, hey, these things are back in stock. And I went onto their website, and they had already sold out within hours. Oh. So these things are still hard to come by, still hard to get.
And you didn't get one? Like, I thought they were going to say your waiting list, now you just got an email saying they're available. You didn't get an email saying you get one.
Correct.
Oh, interesting. And they're already gone again?
They're already gone again.
Man, so you got a hot deal.
There are more coming out in I don't know how long it's going to take them to get the next batch up again. But they're hard to come by, which makes it special.
It is special. And I was just thinking, is that going to be a red flag if I meet a man who cares too much about a freaking watch? But what I like about it is it's not outrageously expensive at all.
Retail on this watch, I think, was $179.
I know, that's so cute to me. That's really cute. But then it causes that much of a excitement in the little watch community. It's kind of fun.
It's very funny. There's a subreddit I follow, and I flip through Reddit the same way I flip through Twitter when I'm standing in line or doing nothing at all. And the watches subreddit it's got two different sides to it. One is the super fancy, $50,000, $100,000 watches with European brand names that most people wouldn't have heard of. And then there's this whole other side, which is Seiko and Timex and kind of the affordable watch collectors' watches. And people will have 10 or 15 Timexes that they're super proud of or whatever.
Yeah, so nerd out on that. I think it's cool.
It is cool, and I like it a lot.
And they work, right? That's going to be a nice functional watch for you, one would hope.
Yeah,
I love that about it too, right? It's kind of cool we can make eye contact again right here, huh?
Yeah.
Do you see the difference today?
You want to tell me why you have to stand? You
I have to stand today. I am injured like an old woman. I have something going on. It's a hip thing. Shoot, man. I pulled something on Maui. I know that's what it was anyway. I was walking along. Dude. And then it's probably an old injury and then the other day I was walking along on my morning walk by the little nature area near the dollhouse, and I was just walking, and I mean like almost buckled because something in my hip/butt muscle just I don't know. I'm in pain, real pain. So when I sit down, so standing, the nice thing is that this is actually the better way to do audio. I've kind of been lazy sitting down the way I have been, and I've been illustrating my book, so a stand-up desk it's better ergonomically anyway. I just get lazy and I want to sit down. I can't sit down. I'm not kidding. I kind of can't sit. I got to go to a chiropractor real soon. Tooth fell out, getting the new full crown on Monday. Pulled a muscle. Dude, I mean, this feels like old lady. I'm kind of limping. It hurts to walk. And you know how much I hate that? I hate that. So I'm doing I think it's a bit of piriformis. So I'm doing my exercise and continuing to walk in the morning because I think that's what will make it better. Anyway, stand-up desk is nice because I can see your eyeballs again because of our isolation screens that we've built here for ourselves. Now it feels nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, I can see you again. Also, the follow-up is that I have a zombie cam in the alley.
Ooh.
I sent you a picture. Did you get it while you were in?
Yeah, you sent me a picture of what the zombie cam is looking at, but as far as I haven't seen any pictures of zombies. Nope.
No, the weird thing is, here's what it does. It is a camera, and it's like the company is Vivint. I'm going to say that now because they have done me very well recently. As we may recall, they really pissed me off a while ago and hurt my feelings, and I thought it was the worst service. They have come through for me in the best of ways, and now I have a real highly functioning system and this cool new camera. So the camera, if you linger in that little part of my alley, so I got to figure that out because I think it's a little bit, the time sensor is a little longer than I prefer, but I think it's about a minute. So the cool thing is I can come in and out, take out my garbage. You can come in, park your motorcycle. As long as you're not lingering there too much, it will leave you alone. So I think at about a minute, it goes beep, beep, and I can control the alarm that it makes and flashes a red thing.
So if I had taken longer to unlock your gate to put my motorcycle in your backyard, I would have got a beep, beep.
Beep, beep. And then you look up at it and it takes a picture of your face. And I can also take a picture right there from my phone. And we were talking about this, your parents have a different system. It's pretty real time. I've been testing that. And at first, it took 24 hours for it really, I think, to set up and get synced with my Wi-Fi or whatever. But it's not exactly real time. If you were just standing there and wanted to talk to me, it wouldn't be great. I mean, I think I might miss you. Like if you're delivering a package there and dropped it off and it beep, beep, you would be gone by the time that I got the alert on my phone and then could talk right to you. But it does take a picture. It does record it. And it's not for that. It's if you're lingering there having sex in my alley or doing drugs in my alley or lying there, right, shooting up, that's when I can go, move along, please. And that's what it's for. It does bring me a lot up, right? That's why I have it. Why is that funny? That's true.
You've unwittingly became a pornography photographer.
Wittingly. No, we've discussed that. Wittingly. No, right. My handyman said that's just like, there you go. You have a glory hole that you should cut through the fence you can watch and then record and write. No, they'll stop doing it when I yell at them and I can keep flashing lights on them and
hope
stuff.
So.
Me too. But the truth is it hasn't happened. So then I'm like,
that's what I'm wondering.
Where have all the zombies gone?
Has having the camera discouraged them from choosing your alley? Maybe.
I think it really might have, because the other day, I think it was after the thing was installed, there were kind of a familiar cast of characters. I've seen at least one of them before, 2 houses down from me in another place, absolutely just sitting there shooting up, I think. I mean, it's the person who once said to me, no, it wasn't her. Anyway, just strap it up while you... without distraction. Anyway, they were sitting there definitely next to some trash cans. And I just thought, yes, perhaps they have not chosen my garage because that thing has scared them. I don't know. I don't care. But for now, I don't need to invest in a fat head of Mary or Jesus or a giant crucifix.
You don't have to, but you should. It might bring you a little closer to God.
Right. And the project sounds fun. However, I am feeling a little overwhelmed right now. I think it is because fall is approaching and it's harvest time. Andrew, 2 days ago, I got resentful of my garden. I spent 3 hours chopping up tomatoes.
I was looking at your garden when I arrived, and you've still got a ton of fruit in there.
I still have 50 tomatoes. The squirrels it's kind of like 3 for them, 10 for me. 3 for them, 10 for me. The squirrels are really getting after it as soon as they turn a little bit red. But I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, and everything seems, it's kind of overgrown and needs to be cut back soon. It's harvest time. Feel like I need to winterize some shit around here, like the garage. Probably need to put on some vinyl siding. This building is going to fall down someday if I don't deal with that. It's more than scrape the loose back there, Andrew, on the garage side, on the alley side, where I need to I need to repaint this. I think I need to wrap it in some kind of vinyl siding. So I've been looking into Home Depot versions of that versus the company that wrapped my house, because I don't need it to be. I would just as soon wrap a tarp around this garage, but I'm trying to be a good neighbor.
Right. I was trying to capture this aspect of you and your family in my cold open, which is you guys do have a fuck it, I'll do it myself kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm. Might not be pretty,
right? But there's no project that you wouldn't consider doing yourself, no matter
correct, to a fault. So that now, as we have discussed, I have retained a handyman who I have that person there going, don't do it yourself. Not sure yet about my electrical. And I have a guy I think I can call, but I don't know. It's harder to find an electrician than I thought. But that I don't mess with
still
myself.
Seems pretty magical.
Yep. No, I mean, it just seems, I'm not messing with myself, and I have some jobs. Anyway, yeah, of course. I think that, I have been contemplating. I'm going to do something. I'm killing grass back here, and I'm going to lay down some kind of pavers or flagstone. I think I kind of know what I want to do. And honestly, I know that is a job to hire somebody for, but I don't have any real takers yet. I'm sure a handyman guy will do it, but probably doesn't want to do it.
You need a teenage boy. You need a high school age kid.
Who can really do good work about laying up pavers. You know what I mean? That's kind of high level. Yeah. And of course, I'm just saying, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. I can do all of that.
You can't even sit down right now, old lady.
I can stand up, though. I can stand up, and I can still lift. Did you see the pottery bowl that I threw that's so big I could barely put my arms around it?
I only saw the picture. I need to see it in real life.
Went out of control. I don't see why that has anything to do with it. I can't sit down. Perfect. Then I better be up lay in pavers. I don't know. We'll see.
You won't be able to stand up either. You'll only be able to lay.
I know. I did throw pottery this weekend. Absolutely not what I meant to do. I mean, not what I should have done. Technically, I've gotten back in just the past 2 days, back into the grind of my new book, which I still want to have out, or at least to the publisher by October. But I was real sad in a way that felt like my brain wasn't working. And so I threw pottery, which is always just good for my soul. And it was good. But then I just realized, and so because I'm doing this just for fun, I'm going to throw what's fun to me, which is giant bowls. I find it so fun. And then my body hurts a little bit from that. Just because you can throw 15 or 20 pounds of clay at a time doesn't mean you should. I might be doing damage to my shoulders as well. So I'll stop that. That was just a fun day. I just needed a break. Andrew.
Well, you've also had the opportunity to throw pottery because it's been a little cooler.
Yes,
recently,
that's right.
Which makes a huge difference.
It does make a difference.
It's not so, being outside isn't so oppressive.
Yeah. And soon I'll move the wheel inside so that I can throw when weather gets bad, and it'll be fun. But it was just like a diversion. And now I have to trim the stuff. So it's like, really, I didn't need to distract myself.
That's the worst part. I love the throwing part of pottery. I hate the glazing. I hate the trimming. I hate all of the detail work.
I mean, I've made more peace with trimming than I used to have, and trimming can just it can make a pot sing. So I've tried to get right with trimming. Glazing I still don't like, except when I do that like sgraffito. I mean, I've found a couple of finishing options that I like, and I need to remind myself, just stick to them, because when I do something else, it just makes me mad. So that was a nice little diversion to do some pottery. Now I've got to finish this book, but it's coming along. It's looking great.
It does look great. You showed me some pages today, and they're beautiful. I think that our listeners would be crazy if they didn't buy one on the first day, because this thing's going to be like a Timex watch.
You know what? That's people have to, and I can work that on Amazon too. There's ways to do like pre-sales and stir up the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if I feel like doing that. I've never felt like it before, because I always say I'm not really in the business of selling books. You're not going to make any money selling books, and that's true. This is first of all, it's going to be really funny and really cool, and I think people will actually want it. I mean, we've talked about it. It's a little jokey book, scrapbooky memory book for parents of teenagers, but it's very funny. Doing my comedy lately has helped me. My comedy friends have weighed in on some of the stuff, and that's helped. So you're right. I think maybe I should cause a little stir. I did get my ISBN number 2 days ago, and I did put it. I just think that ISBN numbers are so cute. It's like seeing an ultrasound of your baby. So cute. That's my special number, and I'm going to be registered with the Library of Congress. It's awesome when you're a little kid who loves books, you know? My little kid self loves that. That seems like real official. So I did put that on my social media, and it did cause a tiny little stir. I mean, people are like, what do you mean? What's up? And I heard from a lot more kind of people coming out of the woodwork, thumbs-upping that I've got a new book coming. So maybe I should cause a little stir with the pre-sales on Amazon and try to get into the category competitions like best-selling paperback fake scrapbooks for parents category.
Have you looked at the different Amazon categories that this might fit into?
No, but that's what I'm saying is that there are
very funny.
It chunks out like that, and then you can of course game that and tell people you were the number one bestseller in some real weird categories that don't mean that's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm doing it. But friends have pointed out to me that if you do game that, you just get more attention and hits and SEO and everything. You know, if you game that a little bit, and that's probably smart. It's going to be a very good book that I'm proud of.
Have you been listening to Reconcilable Differences?
Yes.
And Merlin and John were talking about... No. This is different. This is from Due by Friday. And Max and Merlin were talking about magic. And Max had some Japanese magic guy that is a real master of his craft and everything. And they asked him about these people who watch tricks on YouTube and then break them down for their audiences and how to do it. And the question was like, what do you think about those guys? Are they magicians? Are they hurting magic as a whole or whatever? And he says, I think those are YouTube numbers guys, which they're not magicians. They're something different. And that sparked a discussion among the Due by Friday hosts about, they just want to get on and create a podcast. They don't want to post it to 6 different channels, 6 different ways, and they don't want to do all of that marketing BS that it seems like you have to do in order to cause a stir. And that's what you're looking at right now is, do I do this thing or do I do this thing and start writing like press releases and sending it to everyone I know who works for a media outlet. And they were just kind of commenting on how miserable it is that you can't just create something and have it be wonderful. You have to sell your soul to this marketing engine and pump it in ways that you yourself wouldn't enjoy hearing about a product, you know?
Oh, yeah. I did not hear that episode. I have not been listening to Do by Friday as much. Oh my God. But that's the forever issue of being an artist. You feel thirsty when you put your stuff out there. You feel so thirsty and so desperate. That's okay. Ring it again. It's true. That's the true story of being an artist. Ring the bell again. From back in my acting school days, right? That's right. That's the thing. Okay, I know it the most from theater. Every actor, I just want to do my thing. I just want to go and do my thing and do my art. And then a lot of us are like, go home and sleep. I don't even want to go to the opening night party. I just want to do my thing and earn my paycheck and feel fulfilled and go to bed. But you're telling me back in my day, that I need to have a press kit. They're telling them now, here's how your website. I mean, in
you got
to
go have your headshots done.
Oh my God.
You've got to always have your business card in your pocket.
Totally right. And being your own marketing machine. I mean, listen, everybody, stand-up comics even more because you can't even assume that some director will see you and cast you. It's like working your way up fighting your way up that ladder, going, book me, please book me, please book me, please book me. Have I proven to you that I'm, oh my God, going to LA and doing that hustle. Oh my God, for commercials, for everything, for my writing. Absolutely. But I mean, that's to the point that it's like barely worth talking about. I don't think you can do it.
You can't do without that,
unless you want to do what I have sort of been content to do so far, or what we're literally decided to do this podcast. At first, I started promoting it and putting out little funny cards about it, on my stuff. And then we both kind of went, yeah, what's the... And now it's literally, I don't know who's listening, and it's this archive thing, and we're literally doing no outreach. You have to do it to the point that it's probably not even worth discussing. If you don't want to do that, I mean, if you do not want to be your own marketing machine or get into, as you said, that machine of it, you don't do it. Then it's a hobby. And I'm kind of deciding right now between all of that for myself, right? Am I going to try to make this stuff a living, or am I going to go and try to get a corporate training job or, something somewhere? Well, the only way you can make it a living is if you promote it. And I am still not sure. I'm not sure how much I'm going to want to do pre-sales on Amazon for this book. The thing is, you and I were kind of into it for my Mama Bear stuff in the early days. I kind of know that's what it is. And I kind of think I'm good at stuff like that.
You are right? Good at it.
For other people's products.
Well, the way you use Instagram is you use it in a way that is conducive to that, building your own personal brand and letting people know about your books and your products and your talks and all of that stuff. You do. I think you do it naturally almost.
Yep. Yeah. Right. I agree. I'm kind of that way. I mean, I've always been obsessed with advertising. I've been starting to watch Mad Men again, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Have you watched it?
I have watched the early seasons.
I just started again on the very early seasons. It's so enjoyable to me, and also too dark. Like, it's not forever. Can't watch it all day. In the background, it gets dark and whatever. But there's something I love about, you know what? I like the stories about the advertising pitches more than the rest of it, more than the relationships. I'm like, ooh, because some of it is based in real life. I think I'm just starting again, but I think there's an episode later that I've seen before where like the Hathaway shirt man or something comes. I'm fascinated by it. So I do think I do it naturally. It does seem distasteful to me. It does seem so thirsty. I don't like other people. I mean, I turn people off on social media where all they're doing is talking about their, I'm selling these vitamins and I love my life now, right?
Yeah, it's the worst.
So I don't want to be that person, Andrew. I don't know. The truth is, what I was starting to say, you once were functioning as my agent and manager, and that was fun to me. You were not so interested in doing much of the groundwork and stuff, but you kind of helped direct it and you were invested in it. Want to do that again?
Not really. I'm busy.
You're too busy. But I mean, like, to talk. I just feel like if it helps to have another person to bounce stuff off of who is as invested and who can watch those numbers, and and maybe that means I have to hire somebody. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like, and probably it doesn't, because I am not big enough to hire somebody else to do that. That is Lisa Lane Filhom. Do you want to be your own marketing machine and realize you might get into you might annoy people, but I also actually believe in this product, and I believe in the product it's connected to, which is my hour-long shtick about raising teenagers.
Well, it kind of gets back to what we were talking about earlier, about you and your family not wanting to, screw it, I'll do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you're missing out on opportunities by not engaging a professional.
Truly. I mean, and I'm realizing that, like I said, I'm hiring a professional handyman has made a lot of difference, because I thought maybe I could get some water. No, hire the guy, and for an amount of money that I am real comfortable paying. I've got a faucet in my backyard. Hired a professional, done and done. I didn't have to clean up the mess. I'm with you. I think that maybe, who is that professional who's invested in myself? I don't know.
Maybe you could find a real agent, now that you've got a book and a half, almost 2 books. Who would shop you around and sell your talk and that sort of thing, and work on a percentage.
Yeah. That's probably really what I need. I don't know who that is. We'll figure it out. Anyway, that's kind of boring, really. But I'm looking at the cover of my book. I like it a lot. It's cute. I don't think I'm hurting myself by putting the color pink on it again, because women are going to buy this book. I don't foresee a
man buying them. Maybe they'll pull it off the shelf and flip through it and giggle a little bit, but I don't see them taking it to the register.
And you're not going to, maybe for a girlfriend, and a friend isn't going to give it to a guy friend. This to me is a book like you're going to give to your girlfriend who is having a hard time with her kid. Or you're going to see it and you're going, here's what I hope. I'm going to give I'm buying 5 of these, and I'm going to give them to all my girlfriends at Christmas. This is hilarious, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be like a $10 item. I hope it's going to be that low. Hilarious. But I don't see it appealing to men, because it is in the style of both memory book for your kids, baby books, and the adult coloring book phenomenon. I can't see it. Yeah, this is not. So I'm putting pink on the cover because I like the way it looks, and because it ties into Mama Bear. Then they look nice together. It's black and white and a similar color of pink. But beyond Mama Bear, the book appeals almost as much to men as women. And I was careful to do that. And so do my talks. Of course, more women come to hear a parenting talk than men do, but men come and they like it, and I always address that. And I think the book speaks just fine to daddies, but this book is for girls, let's face it. So I'm keeping the pink on the cover, but I really like it. It's going to be fun.
You just said something that struck me, which is it's going to be $10, you hope.
Yeah.
You want a nice, inexpensive book, which to me is not... what I know about people who have published books, which is mostly professors, they're trying to pump that book price up as high as they can get it. They'll charge $600 or $700 for a textbook.
Oh, yeah.
And you're a lover of literature. You're a person who appreciates reading and access to all that stuff. And you want to get this in as many hands as you can. You want a low price. I like that.
That's right. Oh, academic publishing is a whole other animal. It's obnoxious.
Still makes me angry.
Still makes me angry. I get it. That is the intellectual property. And, I kind of am on both sides of that. There was a time that somebody said to me, I don't see why audiobooks or ebooks. Ebooks, it was the ebook. I don't see why the Kindle version of a book has to be $10, it's just a click of a button. And I was like, I wrote that book. That's my work. That was like, geez, it's worth something. But right, when the academic publishing, listen, a guy at the university where I don't anymore work published a book about something in international relations. And yes, it was $100, $200 textbook. So I'm not buying his book, but I went to his book signing party and I gave him a card of congratulations. And he had the great grace. It was not a guy I directly worked with. He had the wonderful grace and generosity to say to me, because my book was coming out right around the same time and I had my signing at Tattered Cover. And he said, Lisa, your book is going to save a lot more lives than mine.
It is very sweet.
What a lovely thing to say. Because I was like, it's a totally different thing. I'm a Tattered Cover, and my book costs $15, and his costs $150, and it's a big muckety-muck, gala on the top floor of fancy university. But I love that he said that. My book will save more lives. And that's what I was saying. I believe in this product. I think this book is going to be quality. I think Beyond Mama Bear is a great read. I think fewer people sit their butts down in chairs and read books nowadays like that. So this book might be It's a real companion to it. It kind of gives you the gist of it, and maybe you'll want to go read more. And I think that above all, my presentation for parents of teenagers is life-changing and important, and I'm really proud of it. So that helps me get right with my own, I have to market my stuff. I believe in it. I do think you should hire me. I don't feel badly asking anybody I know to pay 10 or 15 American dollars for a book that I wrote. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Buy that book. Don't give it to your friends. Don't share that book. Buy it for your friends.
Right.
Not because I need the money, because I'm not making $300 a book, but because I need the number. Every bit of it helps, right? So I don't feel badly selling this product. I think it's a great product, but that is a question. Do I need a professional, either an agent or a marketing person? I would trust an agent more than a marketing person to be able to do something that I can't do.
Right. I suppose it all depends on how they get paid. I would be skeptical of paying someone hourly or paying someone with no guarantee of results.
Yeah, I know.
The agent model where they get a percentage of your earnings, that seems like their interests are aligned with yours.
Exactly right. I got to look into what that is. And it might maybe it's even a similar talent agent. I talked to a video production person who had hired me to do some voiceover work. Another obvious thing now, my website for my voiceover, it looks great. I think it's functional. I've been collecting testimonials. Looks good. I'm getting jobs. And I thought I should just go back to an agency. I used to have an agency here in Denver. I should do that for voiceover. I'm not sure. I got to look into that, because then it becomes that agent then owns everything I do, including we could probably write a contract that you don't own my Mama Bear stand-up gigs and stuff like that. But there's a fear of signing too much of your life away,
Sure.
And ruining your chances. And in this day and age, I am just not sure, because, as I have said before, it's kind of the Wild West. Back when I was graduating theater school, you had to have an agent. You hustled to get a good agent. Now, like I said, I've been doing voiceover jobs for YouTube. That's not governed by any kind of union or anything. So it's a Wild West. How you get those jobs, it's changing. It has changed in the talent industry. So, let's figure it out.
There's something that I've slowly been learning since I went out on my own, quit my job and started my own business. And everyone says everything's negotiable. But if you take the contract that someone gives you, particularly for your voiceover work or anything where you're producing something and rights are involved, there's a good chance you're not going to have any rights. But in the case of, I was talking to someone else who is also writing a book that's coming out next month, I think. And she was very, I assume that her attorney's all over this. Every time she creates something, she does a lot of guest posts for blogs or whatever. She retains the rights to that stuff, to post it on her own website, to post it on all these other things. And that's something... no contract that you, the worker, receive from the customer is ever going to have those included from the beginning. So you have to know enough to insert those and ask for them. And it's something, you really do need to have an attorney on your side.
Interesting, because I did do that, and I haven't hustled in that way either. And that's an interesting thing you say, is guest blog posts. For some reason, I've had a lot of people reach out to me lately asking if they can guest post on my blog, which has been pretty defunct for a year. I used it to write my book, and I may make it active again. But anyway, that's another place where I can hustle and do that. And when I did do a little bit of that, I remember seeing that and going, wait a minute. And I did write it into my contract. I can post this on my stuff and put it in my book, right? We're going to write that right in. So I just saw it because it bumped me a little bit. But yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well, can I talk to that friend of yours who clearly is ahead of me on that game?
Sure.
Yeah. Hook me up, Andrew. What good are you for? Anything else that we have to talk about?
No, I don't.
Boring.
Today's, we can't end it right here because that's way too short. People are dying
to
listen to our voices for at least another 15 minutes.
We have to extend it. It's always good to get out under your time. I made some Alzheimer's jokes the other night, and they were funnier. It's getting funnier.
Yeah, what were your jokes?
Not telling them. You have to come and see the stand-up. No, I've told you a million times.
We talked to
this is not the venue.
Real live listeners in person, and we all agreed that hearing the conversation about the joke without ever hearing the joke is the worst thing ever.
I did not agree on that. Nobody said that.
I said it and they nodded in appreciation.
They nodded. I don't know. Okay. Wait, don't we have any... Well, did you watch that video that for 3 weeks now I've said, Andrew, did you watch my favorite thing of the week?
Oh, yeah. I like that. I've watched some of her other videos, too. Her name is something Bee. Something... Do you remember?
Is it... Dang it.
I think it's in the Slack. It's
in follow-up. But I don't have follow-up open.
Gabriella Bee on YouTube. And she does... I was actually surprised. I thought everything she did was like covers. But that's not true. She's got her own YouTube channel with all kinds of different content. I think she made a potato gun recently.
And her family has a big YouTube channel.
Do they?
Yeah, they've been YouTubing since she was a tiny little girl. And so they do a bunch of stuff like potato guns, and they do experiments, and it's a big family channel. I don't care. That one little video of her doing obla di, obla da, I can watch it all day long, and it makes me smile. I love it so much. Don't you love it?
It is pretty great.
Oh, it's so cute. She plays a little stapler there. It's so good. I'm just going to put it in show notes. And people, if you want a nameless and joy-making thing, honestly, it's just the cutest. It's just the cutest.
It makes me happy. When I was her age, I had a copy of Final Cut Pro, which is the Mac video editing software. Mm-hmm. And I used that to make a video for my Spanish class, Senora Spiesbach. Not that matters. We'll cut that out. And I learned you could do magic with video editing. You could put an Andrew over here and an Andrew over there and an Andrew, which is what she did. It's five different copies of the same girl playing different instruments together in a...
And it's easy because it's timed, and so you've got your metronome keeping the track or whatever she's doing, so you can do it. Oh my God, it's so cute.
It's a wonderful video, and I still remember the magic of learning that could be done.
I know it. And at first I was just like, this young chick did this all by herself in her bedroom. Her parents are YouTube. I mean, I think it was probably a family effort. I don't even care. It's so, so, so cute to me. Hey, I have a recommendation.
What's your recommendation?
I watched yesterday on the Netflix. Not only did I check out Mad Men again just in my background because nothing has been scratching that itch very well. I watched Chelsea Handler's new documentary, Hello Privilege, It's Me, Chelsea.
Is it good?
It is good. I mean, it's not flawless, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Do you like Chelsea Handler?
I don't know her very well, to be honest.
I am just so jealous of Chelsea. Everything. I used to even tell that to my students because once in a while they would say like, that was like what you just said was like Chelsea Handler. And I would just go, I know. If I had just gotten out of my own way, I could have just been Chelsea Handler. And she was just better at that than I was. She just trusted that she was funny or whatever. And she did not have, well, whatever. She had a great upbringing in some ways. She had a worse terrible teens than I had by a long shot. She got herself out of that. I mean, I do think she's awesome, and I like a lot of the things she has done. She is crass and crude, and she is so kind of unapologetically herself. In this film, she goes, I've kind of been a jerk some of the times, and where did I not? I appreciate her a lot, and mostly, like I said, I'm super jealous. I just wish that I was her. But it's cool. It is about white privilege, and the ultimate thing that she learns is that it's kind of on white people to talk to other white people about white privilege. That it's a very interesting and I think worthwhile documentary. And it's not, and it's funny enough, it's Chelsea Handler, that it's not maudlin or guilt-inducing or, it doesn't incite any kind of awfulness. I think it's worth it. I really enjoyed it. You should watch it.
So I'm looking through her Wikipedia page right now, and I realized I know the name. It's a name that I've heard before. I don't know anything she's done. I'm looking through all this stuff. I've never really watched any of it. I've heard of some of the titles, but I don't know. I don't know Chelsea Handler at all.
Interesting. And I mostly saw some stand-up of hers, and then she had a show that I watched very occasionally and only kind of vaguely know some of the characters. I think Heather McDonald was on her show, and I knew Heather McDonald in a completely different way as a stand-up. So same here. I have not watched a lot of her actual content. And partly it's been I've avoided it because it sort of made me jealous. But I kind of get what she's been about. And, yeah, more zeitgeisty, but I watched that whole thing yesterday, and I think it is actually worthwhile. How old is she?
I just closed it 1 second. Stand by.
I feel like she's younger than I am by a little bit, but it might be that she's older.
I would guess older.
Which is also going to piss me off because her face looks better than mine. I mean, God, the wrinkles here, Andrew. I let the Botox run out, so my wrinkles are super back. But I'm unemployed right now, so we're not doing Botox. that goes right off the budget.
She was born in 75, so she's
a lot younger than I am. See, so I thought. No wonder she looks better. We'll give her that then. Okay, well, that's my recommendation.
That's good. My recommendation, I guess, this week would be go visit Montreal.
Okay, I love that. Oh, I actually do have some other stuff. I let my sourdough starter die.
It's dead?
Well, no, I just didn't feed it or deal with it.
I think you should be fine. I think you can go several weeks. And I was looking, there's I should send you a link. Remember we've talked about Alex French Guy Cooking?
Yes.
He's got a video on how you can preserve your sourdough starter.
Okay.
So if you're just going to do it once a week, it goes in the refrigerator. Yep. Once a month, it goes in the freezer. Oh. And then if you want to put your starter on hold indefinitely, you can smear it out super thin. You can dry it out, and you can keep it as a powder.
Oh, interesting.
Forever.
Huh. The other thing is, will you please send me the instructions that you use to deal with this sourdough starter?
Yep.
Because you never did. And then I got actually kind of confused. And I do realize I'm going to have to go buy a Dutch oven and deal, like it's a whole process as we have discussed. And then I had a real hella emotional few days. We went to the Alzheimer's walk also on Saturday. Right.
Yeah, a busy
before.
Alzheimer's weekend.
Oh, we had a busy Alzheimer's weekend. That was it. And it was kind of good. Just like lean in and deal with it all and, pull that Band-Aid off. But it was really emotional to a point that I was getting annoyed with myself. Like, okay, you can't just sit here and wallow. But how could I not? Kind of, And I was exhausted for, like, today is the first day that I kind of popped out of bed and went on my walk without feeling like I was pasted to the bed. And I think I kept going, God, I didn't get anything done today. And I have wonderful girlfriends who reminded me, you did so much. You did so much today. Just the Alzheimer's walk. It wasn't the 2 miles slowly around City Park that was what I did. It was all the rest of it. Our friend John Roderick, my best friend who doesn't know I exist, like really, he's like my brother, was saying something recently on a podcast that really came up for me during the Alzheimer's walk and then just having cousins and aunts and uncles and things like that in town. Andrew and John and I are on the same page here. Can I tell you how I like plans to be made anymore? Can I tell you? It's like this. Hi, want to meet at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday right here at this place? Yep. See you there. I don't like John Roderick talked about it in terms of like, I don't need to know that there was ever another option. Like if we're going to meet at Ted's place for dinner, I don't need to know that we discussed Pete's place and Andrew's place and all the other machinations, what we didn't do. I am really surrounded by people sometimes who like to tell me all of the plans, including the parts of them that didn't happen, all of the options. And it makes me, here's the interesting thing about me is, and I'm talking about my sister here and she's not going to listen to this podcast. And I think she knows that it drives me crazy. But like, it's like, okay, should we meet here or do this and do this? All the moving parts. And I'm on the other end of town. So they're trying to include me and like, well, maybe you could meet us over here. But we're all coming from this side of town and seem real invested in the details. And I just go like this, I'll meet you at the park. It makes me a jerk. It makes me like want to not participate in any of the human communication. I mean, really, tell me where to be. I'll just be there.
Planning is always a difficult thing. And whenever I do it, I think I got this from Merlin Mann, always suggest a place and a time. And it doesn't matter if they can't make that. The fact that you said, here's the one, give them the option to say yes.
Give them the option to say yes. That was Merlin Mann, and that's how he responded to John Roderick was shortest viable email, text, whatever, that gives the other person a reason to say yes. Yes. Helpful.
I also like Dan Benjamin's approach, which is also don't give someone the option to say no. If you want something to happen or whatever, don't say, are we still on for tomorrow? Say, I'll see you tomorrow at 6 or whatever.
See you tomorrow at 6, yeah. Okay, right. And so that's it. And I think, but here's what I'm realizing. Some people, and it's not just my sister, I'm using this example, but there are many people I think who actually enjoy the details. They enjoy the talking about, hey, 4 of us are going out to dinner. 1 of us is vegan. The other is this. What are the options? What kind of ambiance do you like? Do you think it would be good if we went? Like, it's fun to them. Do you think this restaurant would be a good place to go because your friend is coming from out of town? Would it be better to go and get a rooftop view? I mean, I can kind of grok what it would be like to be in that brain and be like, let's discuss this. And in this point in my life, I don't know if it's new for me or what, but I have zero patience for that. I don't want to be part of it. I literally don't want to be a part of it. I love it so much when somebody says, yeah, 6:30, this place, want to be there? And then I can go yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know all of the other options that exist. I don't want to sit around and talk about like planning a party, all of the things we might get for food. I don't know, Andrew. Is that just, I think my brain is just full right now, and I've got a lot of real heavy things that I've been processing for a year or so or longer, and I just don't have the brain power.
Mm-hmm. I can empathize with that. I feel the same way often, I think.
But like planning for a trip, would you enjoy hey, should we go see this castle or that castle?
I usually defer. I say,
Yeah.
You know what? I've got 3 other things I'm thinking about right now. I'm sure Delaney knows this. How about you think about that, and then we'll do it.
Yeah,
you pick.
Yeah, you pick, and then I guess when there are things that I do care about, I'm invested. I don't know, man. That's just a funny thing about me lately. What I've been noticing is that like I seriously get. I think I'm kind enough about it. Like, please just make the plan and I'll show up. I literally don't care where we go to lunch. I will find something to eat there. Believe me. Thanks for checking in with me about the 10 other options, but I don't want to. I just noticed that in myself, and it puts me into this weird mode of like refusal to plan and then almost refusal to go. Sometimes when it just gets so complicated and we're making plans back and forth and changing them, I kind of, my temptation lately is like, I'm out. That sounds too complicated. I need to go be where it's easy.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm still in a weird phase.
Well, and it also puts you in a funk too, because if this person is that hard to plan with, is it really going to be fun when I actually get together with them in person? Right? It sours you on the experience. Correct. Before you ever have it.
That's it. Like, this sounds exhausting from the get-go. I need to be at peace with people right now. Yeah, well, I did mention in my cold open that you would be a guy with red flags. I'm totally kidding. That's not even true. The no art on your walls for 2 years kind of freaks me out. In a person. It just feels weird to me.
I don't know what I would put on my walls.
I know you don't. That's weird to me. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of my friends, people in their 20s, I think the standard thing is to go to IKEA and pick up they've got the same stock prints that I think they've had for 20 years.
Oh yeah.
You've got
Brooklyn Bridge,
the shot of London.
Yeah.
It's all black and white except for the red bus, which is red.
Oh right, you got the Eiffel Tower one. There's a big ocean one.
I've seen them in a lot of different friends' apartments, and they're all the same pictures, and that doesn't excite me. But I also don't care to go and spend money on art because money's precious, and I have a lot more things I'd like to spend it on than art.
I know. Okay, whatever. I know that. We've actually talked about it on this podcast. It is not a matter of a ton of money. You spend money on other things that bring you joy. It is a choice in your life, and it is an aesthetic that you and Delaney both have, that doesn't bring you joy. Blank walls do not bring me joy. Feeling like I'm in an anonymous place rarely brings me joy.
They bring you the opposite of joy. They bring you sorrow.
And it makes me feel like I don't belong there, that this is just a generic place. So it's not about, it's not about money. It's not about money. People who care about having stuff on their walls, you can do it you have plants. You know what I mean? You do a plant, you do macrame. That's the art on your walls. You
also consider yourself an artist, and you have all kinds of, you spend a lot of time thinking about visual things and decoration in the art sense. And I don't. That's kind of a, it's either a skill I don't have, or a tertiary. It's just something I don't consider myself to be good at. I don't trust myself to hang something on the walls because it's either in bad taste or I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose. Someday when you buy a house that you really care about and you want to move in and style it to be your lifestyle, I'll bet you will take the curiosity to it as you have done all things. Because you are a guy who likes typography. You're a guy, you do like design. You like design a lot. You can talk to me about fonts in a way that not a lot of people care about fonts. You do care about things that are beautiful. When you style your living space, you'll learn how to do it like you've been learning sourdough bread. You know what? I mean, there is a certain thing to what is interior design? How do you decorate a house? You will do that, I think. And probably you'll want to create something for yourself that's somewhat pleasant.
Sure.
You do care about aesthetics.
I think that I'm more likely to hire an interior decorator or coerce one of my friends who considers themselves an interior decorator
100%.
than I am to invest the time in learning about interior. I don't know, maybe.
For now you are, but right. Lately you've been going, gosh, I'm in DIY. I can learn everything. Yeah, and that may never be exciting to you. But that's right. You'll talk to a person. Listen, Kim Riley had to come and organize my kitchen. I'm not naturally good at interior decorating at all, but I need to have beautiful things around me, and I love to sit in little corners of this dollhouse space and go, real pleasant what we've done right there. But I can sit there, for real, and look at beautiful things. So why the hell did I get back on that? Because I am learning. I'm trying to learn, collecting data about like what is trustworthy in people and what freaks me out about people and just where I'm at. I mean, I got my sack of rocks. Everybody else has their sack of rocks. We all walk around with demons, but as we try to make relationships with people, friendships, working relationships, collaborations, and love relationships, it's like, what is going to be hard for me? It's stuff like that over detail-y, plenty. That's something I'm just really like right now in my life. I got no room for that. People who are inconsistent freak me out. People who don't appear to. I'm saying, for an example, I wrote a joke about it in my cold open, but like who don't hang things on their walls or seem to be in a place. It freaks me out a little bit. You don't freak me out, but I mean. That's just funny. I'm just still in that real weird process. And in the past couple of weeks, I have been very much reminded of it to the point that I've been crying on this podcast when I realize that I don't eat unless I'm with other people.
Do you have any follow-up on that? Have you been thinking about that more?
I need to go to therapy about that because like there is actually some kind of resistance to nourish myself, I think. I have
a John Roderick thing. Do you believe that you don't deserve to be nourished?
That's what I wonder because it's a little crazy when I go, what it feels like to me is no, I'm just busy and feeding my body seems boring. Like I have to stop and nourish myself and I don't care about food that much. It seems a little crazy. Like you should probably want to nourish yourself. I mean, I'm not kidding. That's something we'll talk to my therapist about. Like, what is that? Is it similar? I have been making myself get up and walk again just lately because it's like, is it that? Am I feeling so crappy still that I'm not doing self-care? Which is a big part of divorce class. And there's lots of jokey stuff about self-care, but sometimes self-care is just take a bath or cut yourself some slack and go to bed on time, whatever. Right. Honestly, take a bath.
The blocking and tackling of life, self-care. It's making sure that you're fed, that you're well rested.
Did you just make that up, the blocking and tackling of life?
I'm sure I've heard it somewhere.
It's pretty high level.
Thank you. That can be the title of this episode.
Okay. Right. And that's it. Like, why am I not taking the care to feed myself? I need nourishment to do all the things I want to do. Mm-hmm. I need exercise. I can already tell walking in the morning is so much better for me. Definitely just clearer head. Don't just whatever, less cobwebby. Awesome. Even if it's 20 minutes, just go do it. What is up with me not wanting to eat? I don't know. And it still is true that I will eat with other people. I will eat robustly with other people.
Robustly?
Mm-hmm. I will eat, but I don't.
Eat like nobody's watching?
Yeah, but when people are watching, like, right, what the hell is wrong with me? That seems, that's what I'm saying. I'm still I'm still within the year of being a divorced lady, and my dad is just slipping away, and it sucks. And so, yeah, there's just a lot to learn about. I started the episode with, I learned in Divorcity Club when I took that class that I got problems with social trust. And then it boils down to, I got problem trusting men. So I am thankful for our relationship, Andrew, because I'm not kidding, in a very safe way, in a very platonic way. You remind me how to rebuilding my trust in men, and so are other friends and stuff. But having your daddy disappear right before your very eyes just doesn't really help the situation, I think. It's been kind of an epically icky thing.
Sure. If you thought men were unreliable before, watch them watch the person who is the most reliable become unreliable little by little.
Okay, thank you. That normalizes it. The way you just said it is right. I sit here and beat myself for like, why are you conflating Alzheimer's with your divorce? And that's it. And so We're building a village here. It does take a lot of people to take care of me. When my cousins Brad and Jess were here, after discussing how tight my garage door opening is and how I had scraped my car on the side, luckily I don't care. DTD, it's a work vehicle. While they are standing there, I backed out and smashed my side view passenger mirror with people watching. I mean, like, I'm being careful. And I went, bam, the worst I'd ever done in my garage door. So I just laughed. It was hilarious. Then my godmother, Aunt Christy, was coming and her husband, John. So my godparents are coming and I don't want them to know that I am that much of a loser. So I ordered on Amazon a new mirror piece for my side view mirror. And I was going to put it on before they arrived so they just wouldn't know. We just didn't have to discuss this. I ordered it same day delivery, by the way, from Amazon. All proud of myself. That night I go to put it on and I went, this is way more macho than I thought. It involves getting a putty knife and scraping off the old broken mirror. And I went, in fact, and I'm texting Brad and Jessica, and they agree, that's a job for Uncle John. So poor guy gets off the airplane, and within an hour, we're at the dollhouse, and he's trying to fix this thing. He decides also, too macho for him, this is ridiculous. You should not have to scrape off old mirror glass with a putty knife.
That's
you need
how
to buy
I've
this
got a nice scar on my hand from doing that.
No shit. He started to cut up his hand, and he said, there's a better way. We popped the whole thing off. He drove up to have lunch with my parents, and sitting at lunch, he had called the Nissan dealership and confirmed that they had the part, and then confirmed the map, and we went and picked it up, and it was like a snap-in part, and he got it, and we got that ish taken care of right then. Because he's like, this is not safe. You shouldn't be driving like this. So it takes a squad to take care of me, Andrew, but I'm very, very lucky to have them. And it was just another of those Lane family coming down. I don't even know why my Uncle John would be always, always so kind to me and all of us like that. I don't know what I've ever done for him except entertain my Aunt Christy. And that's probably valuable to him sometimes. But like, I don't know why there is this dedication from my cousins and uncles to take such good care of me. I mean, I can imagine the source of it and the root of it. I'm very grateful for it now, but it makes all the other guys in the world look kind of pale in comparison.
Do you remember when you moved into the dollhouse and you had the Denver police force looking over your shoulder, and you said, kind of full of yourself, you said, "I'm precious cargo," and you had that feeling, that warm fuzzy of people care about me and they're taking care of me, they're watching out for me. You've got it on all sides.
I really do. I've got Rafiki. She won't even let a package sit on my porch for 20 minutes. She called me at the grocery store one day because she saw that my lights were down in the backyard. There had just been a terrible windstorm and probably the squirrels, and I saw it when I was going out to the car, and my hands were full. I thought, I'll plug those back in when I get home from Safeway. And while I was at Safeway, Rafiki called me to make sure I was okay because my lights were down. So I really do. And now I have a security camera. You're right. I'm so taken care of. I'm just being a baby. It's been an emotional freaking week. Good times ahead, I'm sure. I mean, it makes sense that it's been an emotional week, right?
Good times ahead, for
Good
sure.
times ahead.
On that note,
hope. We always do.
I think we better say we brought the ruckus.
Thank God. Can I see your watch again? Hold it up. We've already done it for show art, but it is a handsome watch, Andrew.
Thank you. I like it
well done.
a lot.
Okay, send me the sourdough starter.
I sent you 3 links in Slack.
Wonderful.
It's a series. The first one is how you make your starter. The second one is how you bake the bread, and then the third one is how you put your starter on hold.
Are they videos?
Yeah.
God, Andrew.
They're like 10 minutes
Send me
each.
a flowchart recipe.
No, just watch it. You'll love this guy. He's great.
I don't like watching YouTube videos. All right, bye, Andrew.
Goodbye, Miss.
Oh, my God.